recorded, but
All
you
right,
won't know that
here we
later.
are. Hey, thanks, Harsha. Today is October 30th, one day before Halloween. It's Thursday. It's 1430 UTC-ish, and it's time for Open Spaces with Gimbalabs. The community has convened. We're all here together, and you are here too. I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you for being here and paying attention and being a part of this wonderful community. I really love it. I get something out of it. I know that my co-host, Harsha, does too. Thank you all for being here. I see Sebastian's here. I see James and Alex and Hinson. There's a bunch of folks here. Why don't you come and join us next time? Or if you can't do that, hit the like and subscribe or share this video with your friends. Um, if you don't know what we do here, this is a place where we come together as a community and decide what we've been doing or what we're going to do in the past. Today is a special sort of day because we're actually looking into the past and things that have happened. And this is basically how we decide how to spend our time and how to spend our resources. We have a treasury here, and that's one of the great things about Gimbalabs. We all get together, decide on what to do. Now, before we begin, I definitely want to talk about these principles of the open space, just to read them into the thing. Whoever comes is the right people. Whenever it starts, it's the right time. Whatever happens is the only thing that could have happened. And when it's over, it's over. So we'll be here for 90 minutes, another hour and a quarter, and we'll see what happens. Harsha, does that feel like a pretty good introduction?
That feels great, yeah.
All right. I want to, before we get into anything, one of the things that we do is we decide our agenda. And I'm going to share my screen. Let's share a screen. And we go here. I'm way over here. Let's see. So this is our Notion page. On this Notion page, you can see all of our projects and whatever I had open before. This is the page. So here are all of our projects in their different states, planning and in progress. These are the ones we're going to talk about today. This is the page for these weekly open spaces that Harsha and I, and sometimes Lewis, facilitate. You are welcome to come and facilitate if you are so interested. Please let us know. These are the agenda items that we have on, and this is a time when you are welcome to invite bring up your own agenda items. And the first one is this Vesper and Gimbalabs Fund 14 funded proposal, and that's going to be presented by Hinson. And then after that, we're going to do the monthly updates.
No, I think we're going to do the with spaces after that and then monthly updates.
Yeah. So watch this. Watch what happens. Boom, it's changed. So we're going to talk about which spaces proposal, which I think is this one, is the Space Invader. And after that, we're going to talk about any monthly updates from in-progress proposals that may be happening. So is anybody have, and I can check out the chat, and Harsha I was always checking out the chat.
Sebastian has his hand up.
Oh, okay, Sebastian,
Yeah.
what's up?
Yeah, guys. I would like to suggest maybe a round of updates from the project owners that we have in this moment in the call.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea because in this moment, for example, we have Ajomi in the call, and he from the Andamio side, we had a conversation about, okay, do we have some kind of office hours or some kind of X calls where we can know more about what's happening with the projects, right? So maybe the Gimbalabs space can be used for bring to the community some updates, particular updates from the project's side, especially projects that have a close relationship with Gimbalabs.
Yep.
5
Yeah,
minutes for
that's
project should be enough.
Small question, Sebastian. So you're saying not just the proposal updates, but also like updates from maybe our friends
See, the
like
general.
from Mesh or
See,
Andamio. Like, is that what you're saying?
yeah, it's about what's happening with the projects that are not have a close in some way have a close relationship with Gimbalabs, or the community is working on them and or something like that. For example, I'm speaking on behalf of Andamio, but we have here Hinson from different projects. We have here Lucas from 45. So maybe we can inform the community via Gimbalabs what's happening with the projects.
Absolutely.
Just
Yeah.
kind of the recent updates in the
yeah,
particular project.
I think that's what's going on here today for sure.
Yeah, I think that'd be great because whatever we speak here will end up becoming a tweet on X. So it'll be nice that we can
Yes.
cross post for other projects as well.
Yeah, love it. So this anything else? But I think we might be ready to get over to Hinson. I'll stop sharing and hopefully he can share his screen because he's going to talk about a funded proposal and how, what it's all about and how we could get involved. Hinson, are you ready? And then, one of the things I always ask is, how much time would you like? How much time do you need, do you think? Or do you want me to remind you of time?
Probably I would just do it very quickly because this is the initial phase. Yeah, maybe 5. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll
remind you at 4 minutes. I'll remind you at 4 minutes.
Yep. Nice.
All right, here we go. Thanks, man.
Yep. So actually I don't have much to share. Just maybe to give the community some of the background of this. So for this Fund 14 approved proposal is actually not a new idea. So I didn't really come to check for a lot of things before it, since it's actually the one Fund 13 proposal that we try to submit, but this is not approved. But in Fund 13 time, we try to be like put in the most of the Sedan Lab crews to do it. But right now it's like since Vesper is interested, and then I just used exactly the same contest to be a little bit of the handshaking with them. So the idea is to develop some sort of the framework to be the Gimbalabs access to people to actually to host the onboarding workshop across the globe. So that, eventually the output will be like there will be some guidance on in your different countries. If you want to host some onboarding workshop, what is the preparation that you want to do, and what is the procedure, etc. So essentially it will be super lightweighted. And why I do the kind of the connection with Vesper is mostly since the Draper time and also all the events, we found out that they're actually pretty good at it. They are already sending out free USDM or ADA just to get people onboarded into Cardano. So I just do a very light introduction that how about you help us to do this thing, and it will become the assets of Gimbalabs. And then he could just continue doing his things and then putting his part of the wisdom back to our wider community to do it. So right now at this moment, there's not much detail we planned it yet. And also for this proposal, I'm not actively involved actually. I'm more of just putting our Fund 13 proposal in front of them and then say, hey, this is what we were attempting to do. Are you interested to lead the entire thing out so that the access will eventually become a Gimbalabs? And also at the end of the day, I remember I have been discussing with Alex, there will be like a 10 to 20% of the budget allocated back to the Gimbalabs community just for try out hosting these workshops across the globe. So that might be the point that the entire community will have the chance to participate in that. But all the detail is not fixed yet. It's still on the project onboarding period. I will kind of do a slight check with them like ongoingly maybe after 1-2 months when there's some more detail, I would come back with the screen sharing so that we know as a community how we could engage with this. So essentially, this the update for this proposal. So yeah, for me, I'm also pretty laid back because my main focus is on Delta DeFi right now, trying to launch it into the mainnet. I try not to take too much additional responsibility, but I would like, as a community, that well to make sure the Vesper team will deliver it at the end of the day. Like just I try my best to make sure this proposal is delivered and also beneficial to our community. So I think that's everything from me. Any question from the
Okay.
floor?
Hey, Alex
Yeah,
had his
perfect.
hand up. Do you want to ask a question, Alex?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to do something good for other people, you can kind of bring this proposal to the governance education working group. But they are not very
Ooh.
technical people, you know, but the way you describe the content you want to create seems like what they were talking about. But that's intersect, and I'm too tired of this shit, and I don't want to deal with them anymore. It's organization,
Okay,
you
so
know, if
that's
you want to go
intersect.
there and battle there and promote yourself in intersect, welcome. I'm not going to do that.
Yep,
But
well noted.
yeah, go ahead.
No.
Yeah, it sounds like, I mean, just to sort of like how I heard it, it sounds like local education projects partnered heavily with Vesper, and Vesper has been doing this for a while, and it's really just a way to partner and sort of use our resources because we are sort of education focused. I know that I can see Jethro and Gideon who are in Lagos, Nigeria. I know that Lucas in Lisbon is doing education projects. I think that Ayomi is doing education projects, and Alex is doing education projects. So, my question is, and it's generally the main question is there an opportunity, or what and details are the opportunity for contribution to the project, Henson? Like for the community, the people that are here right now, how can they get involved? What opportunity is there for them?
Yeah, I think there's some background to supplement also why eventually we do the connection with Vesper. It's also in Hong Kong, we also try to host some onboarding workshop before. It's not too technical. It's just about creating a wallet, registering for the stake key, and delegate to stake pool, and delegate to DRAP, and with a little bit of walkthrough to the DeFi ecosystem and how the entire governance things work. But one problem is that initially in last year when we do it in Hong Kong, it's like we are demanding the participant to bring their own laptop in order to do that. And then in this year, we found out it's like pretty much Vesper is the top tier mobile wallet right now in the ecosystem. Another, I think, is also top tier is Begin Wallet, but we are slightly out of touch with the team. So it is actually a good idea for our previous workshop to change the requirement from bringing your own laptop into just a cell phone. We found it much more easier to onboard people into Cardano. So there's a background of how we get this connection. So for the process itself, I don't think it's a much of a difficult process, and probably I think Vesper team will take care of most of the kind of these framework and playbook. And for Gimbalabs community, I think the participation to come into the later stage is for after most of the thing is set out, and probably we'll run a few experiments on the material we find for a few times, okay. And they will probably set out a budget so that, let's say if you base in your own country, you want to run exactly the same thing, then you could request the budget to do so, because eventually when you want people to create a Cardano wallet, delegate, and learn about things, initially in the workshop, usually we will send the participants some aiders in order to bootstrap it, because we don't want people to commit their credit card before understanding the ecosystem. So this will be the main objective of that part of the allocation, so that we set aside a budget. So if you want to run this workshop, you're ready to send out some ADA to some random people and force them to install Vesper, delegate to stake pool and DRAP. And there will be a wait for the community to participate in that sense. Yeah. James, do you have a question?
James has
James.
his hand up.
I have an update and a question. So first, the update. While we were talking, I just downloaded the Vesper wallet on my phone and I opened up the Andamio sponsored transaction portal and was able to, within 30 seconds, fire off a transaction from a wallet that never had any funds in it to get the Andamio access token. So we have this ability to have people download this app, go to a single page, be off and running, not with a whole bag of ADA, but just with the few tokens they need to start using a system. So it's a really exciting opportunity. My question is, in the way you're thinking about the workshops, are these all in person or is there a virtual version as well?
We initially think about mostly in person, because I think there's a qualitative element. You can actually bring people on board, especially when we do this kind of value sending activities online. Eventually, we just attract a lot of grifters, just want to claim the airdrop and then, yeah, just go away. But when people get through their mental psychologies to actually participate in person, look into your eyes in person, the special meanings, then you could do a lot of things from there. Like as a Cardano community point of view, you could talk a lot more about the philosophy of this ecosystem, how robust is our blockchain. By the way, just talk about the governance thing and how it is excited, how every ADA holder could decide the future of this ecosystem. It creates a better chance for us usually to bring people really onboarded, at least mentally, they know deeply more about Cardano. But yeah, rather than it's like doing online, we also tried before. Eventually, it's like people just dial in the Zoom, maybe not even opening up the camera, then just wait until the point we send ADA, and then yeah, some of them will early drop out even after taking the value. So there's something that, yeah, not ideal. So our experience told us it's always better to do this onboarding activity in person. So that's why eventually there will be a opportunity for Gimbalabs community, because we are all spread out across the globe. Like,
Yeah.
definitely Vesper team or even us, we cannot do a lot of these things too often. For us, mostly just hosting some workshop in Hong Kong, and that's the best we could do.
Oh
Yeah.
man. Oh, that's I think I speak for a lot of people here that I'm super excited about this. It's super great to that we have this opportunity. And so what I'm hearing is that that there's a budget to run in-person workshops and that it's open to us as Gimbalabs. We do have some experience in running things like this. I'm curious if anybody else, I don't know, maybe a round or a show of hands that are like, hey, that sounds like something I want to do. I'm sort of looking at Lucas. Are you finished with like with in-person workshops? Is this something that
No,
you might do again? Because I think of you as
I'm
the
always
in-person
down to
workshop
do
guy.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always down to do it. Like, we've been promoting this Web3 onboarding series of workshops for business people, entrepreneurs, and yeah, last year, or sorry, in May this year, we went down to the south of Portugal to a digital nomads community or a conference. I was on stage talking to them about Bitcoin and Cardano. I organized a meetup and a workshop. Just by attending, they let me do what I want, and I was doing the three things, like on stage pitch, a Bitcoin Cardano meetup, and a hands-on workshop. And yeah, I'm always available for that.
So
This weekend I may be organizing a meetup as well, because I'm going off my own my usual town, and I have some time, so I'll just try to promote it.
I love it. I see some of our Lagos University students from the Africa Education Initiative. Gideon is here, and is Ahmed part of that crew? Gideon,
Ahmed is a part of it.
yeah, you guys, can you? Okay, Gideon's giving me the thumbs up. Maybe this is something that you all want to try. Do you want to come off mic and give a response?
Um, yeah, well, yeah, it sounds really good. Yeah, it sounds really good.
Good.
Being a recipient of the whole Gimbalabs African Education Initiative, and so yeah, and the block print community that we're just starting up. So yeah, from that community we could like just host some it would be good, yeah, it would be a good thing to participate. If we could like participate in this one way or another and be able to hold some meetups, some onboarding uh events around our campus, maybe around Lagos, if possibly
Yeah.
maybe even around some states in Nigeria. So
And
it would be a good opportunity for Cardano onboarding and because Cardano is not very popular around this side of the world. So yeah, it would be a good way
right.
to bring
And
people into
and
Cardano
from
ecosystem.
from what I understand, that laptop, like what Hinson said, was that like having a laptop might be kind of a barrier. And it seems
Yeah.
like your gang, like they may, because it seems like mobile and that might be a better fit. And I'm also want to swing it over to Yomi. I see you got your hand up, but would this some that you'd be interested in?
Um. Yeah, so. A laptop, yeah, will be a barrier. So having a mobile phone, most people have mobile phones, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, that would be a very good way to, just do the whole thing.
All right.
So,
Okay, well, so
yeah,
now we've got a let's hear from Ayomi and then Ahmed and then Alex. I think this is getting a lot of it. I think this could get a lot of traction here. Ayomi,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Can you hear me? It's raining here, but can you hear me?
Yep,
Yes,
we can
yes,
hear
we can
you.
hear you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. So this is a beautiful idea. And I was thinking that I say that this idea is all about um um having a local workshops and also onboarding people, yeah. So my question is, the instructional material for this workshop, will it be provided? That's the question. Or
Yeah.
whoever runs it will be the one to provide it. Thank you.
Yeah. So essentially for the entire Fund 14 proposal itself, the core delivery is actually to prepare these materials so that for people who are trying to run the workshop, they know exactly what to do, how much they should be served, and what is the kind of capacity suggestion, maybe 10 or 20 in a room, those kind. So there will be all these detail planned out and serve as a playbook kind of material, probably stored in Gimbalabs GitHub or the Notion page. So that for the wider community, if you try to do this kind of thing, you get the exact guideline on how to actually do it. So this will be the core delivery for the proposal. So as for the Gimbalabs community engagement part, it actually comes later. After this kind of playbook, we test it out, refine, and then get to a version that's relatively stable. Stable in a sense is probably we try it in Hong Kong to help them to test it, see if this is good. And yeah, if we found out it's like yeah, it's kind of good and probably ready for testing in a wider context, there'll be budget set aside to start the experiment.
Okay. Yeah, so the main part of the proposal is to prepare this material, and that our Gimbalabs participation will be most needed in testing and refining, and there's a section or a milestone for that. And then there's even like later when it gets rolled out. like the sort of deliverable or the release of the actual workshops, the materials. Yeah.
This is also doable, like either in the testing phase or after the playbook shape is kind of refined.
Right.
And we would want a lot of people to try to execute it.
Right. Exactly. The execution phase, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
okay. Yomi, is that sort of that answer that question?
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
Cool. All right. Alex, what are you thinking about? You have a question for
I'm
Hinson?
thinking about how I like Gimbalabs so much, and how there's very interesting questions about like how we view the world, perspectives, and inclusivity, for example, come into our attention. And I really like Hinson's kind of narrative towards like coming. What's the point of being on Cardano if you're not a developer? But on the other hand, we have a lot of now push and drive to bring non-technical people on Cardano. And this cost me a lot of, still causes me a lot of frustration. What to do on Cardano if you're not a technical person? It's just kind of, I spiral into meaninglessness when I think about it,
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
Well,
Thanks, guys.
well, let's find. Yeah. Hinson, any, I think we're wrapping up. Thanks for the update.
Probably I will drop off very soon because there's some in-person meeting here in Edinburgh
For sure.
happening right now.
Hey.
I got to catch them.
Enjoy it.
Thank you for having me. I will come back
yeah.
like then in the future to talk about more the details.
All right.
Yep.
All right.
Good to catch
Be
up with you
safe out
guys.
there. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Ciao.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, let's transition to our next segment. Dun 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 dun. And the next segment is I think it's which spaces.
Yep.
Is that correct?
It is which spaces.
Nice. So Harsha and is the other. So that Vesper was a Fund 14 funded project, and now we also have another sustain and maintain Gimbalabs funded project, and a part of that is these spaces, the spaces that we're currently in right now, and deciding through our consent process and proposal process which spaces that we want to see. Harsha, does that set it up pretty good?
Yep, that sounds pretty good.
Let's look through that proposal. I'll get the link for it. Do you want to share your screen? Would you like me to?
Let me log in. Give me 1 second.
Okay, I can share this link. So everyone should have access to this. Part of the proposal process is filling out one of these proposal templates that starts with the Gimbalabs primary driver, which I like to read, to provide open, replicable, safe spaces to learn, explore, and to empower individuals and organizations anywhere so that they can solve meaningful problems. The meaningful problem that we're solving with this one is governance and how to collaborate, how to decide on what to do, and all those things. Today, we're sort of reflecting on past events and getting this proposal together. And you can see it there. So you've got the link in the chat, and then we're sharing the proposal here.
Yeah. So the basic idea is for us to come together and decide what technical spaces or non-technical spaces as well that we want to host on a regular basis. We have already consented on open spaces, which is this space. And I wanted to add a couple more spaces that we'd want to run together. The only necessity to run a space is that the space has a facilitator and they take responsibility for running that space. currently what we are proposing is two spaces. One is the community code review, and the other one is mesh live coding. So the community code review, me, Newman, and Lewis, we have done it before, so we can take responsibility for that space. But for mesh live coding, we are looking for facilitators. And these are the tentative times that we have. The community code review can happen on Wednesdays at 14:30 UTC, and mesh live coding can happen on Tuesdays at 14:30 UTC. These are all tentative timings, so please feel free to say we want different timings, or for that matter, even different spaces. And we have had like multiple other spaces before. These are some of the examples. So if anyone is interested in hosting a space, please feel free to let us know so we can add those spaces as well in this proposal. And currently, I think I'll jump to the resources required. So the resources required for the open spaces, we have already done this. It has 2 facilitators and it has about 1.5 hours per week, plus the social media stuff, which takes about another 1.5 hours per week. So that's about 3 hours for 2 facilitators. For the community code review, it takes about 1.5 hours per week for 3 people, 1 Don and 2 capos, and editing takes about 3 to 4 hours. And mesh, I'm assuming it takes 1 to 1.5 hours for 1 facilitator at a time, or maybe 2 facilitators, I'm not too sure. But that's just open at this moment. And for 13 sessions, the community code review would cost about 5,200 ADA. And this is the standard pricing that we had for the community code review previously. And for mesh, the mesh team said it might have some funds for us, but worst case, if the mesh team doesn't have any funds, then we'll be funding this open space, sorry, this space with 200 ADA per facilitator per session. And we are asking for about 15 sessions, and there'll be a total budget of 8,200 ADA.
Okay.
Does anyone have any initial thoughts at this point?
Are you able to look at it with that link?
Okay.
Does anybody have any just general questions about the shape of things or the history of these kind of sessions, or is this all making sense so far?
Yeah, I'm actually interested in the ones that just joined. So
Yeah,
whatever I
exactly.
just
Me
said,
too.
did it make any sense at all? Go for it, Ione.
Okay. Yeah. So my question is, okay, I actually host and facilitate events, but the question is, I think most of the things here are kind of technical, right?
Mhm.
So I am not technically talented, so
So by the way, these spaces are not necessarily meant for people who are technical. These spaces are for people who are not technical but want to be technical, who want to understand Cardano better. Yeah. Go for it, James.
And another thing to call out is this doesn't have to be the only list of spaces, right? So this is a proposal to get today's meeting and 2 more going on a regular basis. But Aomi, for example, or anybody else, if there's a different space that you'd be excited to facilitate, we can also build a proposal for that, right? So think of this as a starting place and an inspiration for any other spaces you might want to host.
Yep, that's
Now,
right.
yes, absolutely.
And
So, and the yeah,
Lucas, go ahead.
that it doesn't even have to be from on the spectrum of non-technical to technical. And this is what Alex was talking about, and I'm sorry that he had to go, but yeah, Lucas, I think, has something to talk about this whole idea of the along the spectrum of technical to non-technical. Does Cardano require a technical skill, for instance? Lucas, what do you got for us?
The short answer is not at all, because everyone is we want everyone to use Web3, and that doesn't mean, and that's the opposite of developing it.
Yeah.
Using it is really just pick it up, explore what you can do with it, and network, to discuss opportunities. And from what I've been experimenting or networking with communities around the world, just a couple of them or a handful, a lot of them focus just on literacy, financial literacy, teaching people about sound money versus some more corrupt or inflationary environments. So there's a lot that can be done there. The reason I raised my hand is because specifically, and James was even mentioning, you could help draft a proposal or something. I've gone through that process with some spaces I conceptualized. This came out of frustration from the Intersect Community Hubs initiative, where I saw some initiatives being given hundreds of thousands of ADA, or I don't know, to organize a handful of calls that weren't that productive. And because I am, inclined to work in that front, I kept chasing the community hubs, and I saw nothing was getting done, at least in some geographies. So I'm going to drop in the chat this playlist that basically depicts a pilot that I put together. I called it 45B Grit, standing for Grassroots in Touch. And the concept there is to just check in with local communities. These would be online workshops. We had at a point Sebastian from CF, who's a developer, sorry, a Cardano ambassador. It was really, really experimental, and we started a Miro, as we do, right? If you want to get organized. So yeah, the first session was just me and Mark and a couple more people. The last one, I think, was a bit more structured, and yeah, we had some plans, like create a map, a bit like the Catalyst map now of funded proposals. We wanted to have one with all the communities, and basically create a business directory, but it's not business, it's communities. So yeah, I went through the process of writing this up for the treasury, for the Intersect facilitated treasury funding. I didn't get any traction, even because the proposal didn't get that well formatted when it was being ported over some platforms to be voted on. But yeah, it's something that I've parked. You can see there it was week 19 to 21 of this year. But eventually I would love to work on this a bit more.
Okay, so that sounds like an invitation. I would absolutely be backflip happy if Lucas was the source, and that means like owner or leader or project manager of a funded Gimbalabs space.
Yep.
Yeah, and
I mean, frankly, we
Harsha.
can add it to this proposal itself. Whatever you're comfortable with, Lucas. Would you
Right.
prefer?
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to.
It's
Yeah,
up
but
to
I
you
mean,
guys. Yeah,
Lucas.
let's keep aligning. Sure.
Yeah. And then to speak to James's and to the sort of emergent quality of an open space or a decentralized community like this, and I'm highlighting Nori, like these spaces can emerge. We just need, I mean, Harsha, is it true that we need a couple of spaces for our or 3 spaces is what you're after for the statement of milestones for the
Yeah.
catalysts? And
Yes.
but that's not going to be our total budget, and you can put a caveat that says other spaces to be determined. Is that how that would go?
I can't say, because I don't know what they'll say.
Right.
The milestone reviews. Yeah.
But our proposal, the outcomes and the deliverables are, at least 3 spaces. that we maintain consistently, and there's a couple of other caveats in there. But we can make as many as we want, man.
Oh, absolutely.
And this is sort of transitioning. Ooh, do we have about 30 minutes left? This is sort of transitioning to all of the projects that we've gone to in the past. That we do a lot with a little. I mean, that Africa Education Initiative was a ton with minimum. I mean, so effective. Lucas mentioned that sort of these bigger projects and the hubs and stuff, and it's hundreds of thousands of ADA, and it has sort of a minimal impact, a parent impact. Not to say that there isn't, a superstar out there, but I think we got superstars for very little. Yeah, I'm really, really stoked and confident about this way of creating authentic community and bringing people together and getting them started. Yeah. So with that in mind, and I am recognizing time flies when you're having fun. Let's consent. I feel like we're ready to
So
consent to. Yeah.
I feel like we're not yet there at consent because I still need facilitators for mesh. So without a
Yes.
facilitator, that space cannot happen,
Yep.
I've got a fair bit of experience with mesh, so I'd be happy to help out. But a question on it would be, what's the purpose of the live coding session? Is it a mesh team member leading it, or
is it what?
Yeah, I've got a link.
Could you go ahead? Yeah.
I've got a link for some of the work that we did on it before. Take a peek at that. And Harsha, if you wanted, we could bring that up in the live share, maybe not. But yeah, Andrew, if you look at that, it's basically Mesh reached out to us and said, hey, we would love to have a live coding session like our PBL live coding sessions, and I know you've got quite a bit of experience with that. The outcome of a session, as we've developed it, are a series of tweets and a YouTube video. So right now we're recording a YouTube video. Hey, YouTube. And there'll be some tweets. Hey, X people. And so that's what I think they're interested in, is getting support for their learners, people that are searching on YouTube or, might be attracted on X to say, oh, look, there's stuff going on at this space. And if I have a problem with the documentation, there's a place where I can go and ask a real human, and somebody will guide me through live coding style, issues and things in Mesh.
Yeah. So you don't have to do it by yourself. Me, Newman, hopefully Emmanuel will all help out. And if James can also help out, that's also awesome. But yeah, James, go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to mention Emmanuel as well. I know we've got Jethro here today, but I would definitely nominate Emmanuel, Jethro, and/or Andrew to work together on this, if you guys were interested. And Jethro, if you could just ask Emmanuel if he'd be excited, because I know that he's already working on the Mesh team directly. And so to have a Mesh dev who came through Gimbalabs would be really exciting to have if we could do that. Yeah, Jethro or Andrew, can you follow up with Emmanuel? You guys have a great working relationship, or even live in the same place. So
yeah, I'll check in with him.
Cool.
All right.
And
so yeah, go ahead.
Yep. Well, I was just going to say, we want to come back next week for
yes, we will come back next week after we find the facilitators for Mesh. And the second thing is check with Lucas if he wants to add like a space weekly, bi-weekly, up to them. So that we can add all 3 spaces, put the budget in, and then look for approval. Anyway, go ahead.
And correct me if I'm wrong, we don't, there's not a super time pressure to add other spaces. Other spaces can be added. I'm thinking of maybe Ayomi or any of the folks in Lagos. That like if you were like, hey, I think I could pull off facilitate a Gimbalabs style open space. And I'd like to try, and we can make a new proposal on this to this treasury, and go through the same consent process where we sort of talk it out and who can facilitate. I will say that in order to have consent, it must be really clear what are the opportunities for the Gimbalabs community, what are the requirements. So like what people are being asked to do. Like this, we need facilitators. We need people to manage the social media, create the tweets, upload the videos, do the announcements, blah, 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 all that stuff. And then financial resources, like how much will you pay? And we have sort of an established, from doing this for several seasons, there's an established sort of around what these things cost. So yeah, that being said, you don't feel like you have to rush to get anything in. We'll have the whole season and into next season. That is to say this whole fall time and all next spring. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I'll reach out to you, Lucas and Andrew. I'll reach out to you, both of you, and then we can go from there next week.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Great.
Is everyone on our Discord? This is the time in the video where we say, hey, thanks for joining us. This is an open space, 14:30 UTC on Thursdays. You need to be into our Discord maybe to get the Zoom link. So look for that Discord link and join us. That's where you can talk, bring up questions, and et cetera, et cetera. We are open and friendly. We are like folks. We're people likers. With that being said, hey, let's transition to some updates. This is one of my favorite things to do. It's sort of like we always look to the future. We always start things, but do we really look at like what we've done or what we're currently doing, like what's in our immediate space? I would love to get, and sometimes we just go down the projects in our project board, and just ask people to sort of share out. There may be some projects that have finished and we changed their status from in progress to done, which is always exciting. But Harsh, are we ready to start in on that segment of the agenda?
Should we make the like the what's that DREP notification about like using it and stuff?
Oh yeah, that would be perfect. Yeah, because that's an in progress proposal. And something I'm super excited to talk about because I love it so much. Is Nelson still about with us? He may have taken off.
Yes, Nelson is here.
Oh, okay. Nelson, do you want to talk about it? I'm going to bring it up in here. Let's give the first sort of hey, what you're seeing.
Why don't you open the website itself?
Oh, okay. Here's the project board. I want to like find the link from the project board. We've got proposals, we got stuff in planning. And what we're really talking about today are things that are in progress. And one that we got a bunch of these, but I really want to talk about this one. Nelson is the source of that. We've been working on this quite a bit, and I want to find the link to the thing. Where is it? No, that's I'll just go back over to my.
What are you looking for?
Just the link to the.
Yeah, it's drep.gimbalabs.com.
Yeah, this is it right here. Can you guys see that? Ah, beautiful thing of beauty. Now, Nelson, now this might be the time if you wanted to talk us through.
So yeah, guys, it's been a couple of weeks since we got approval to go ahead with this platform. Yeah, a little bit of background is that we had a little bit of tension that we have registered as a DREP for the Cardano community governance, and then we have been idle for most of the proposals. That's a big reason for that is because we don't have a mechanism for how we come to consensus about the ongoing governance actions. So I decided that it might be nice to have a little thing that allows us to navigate through everyone's rational and opinion about how we should vote. So we have this and it's working. So hopefully,
Oh, I
really
think
at the time of
Oh,
demo.
demo, man,
Yeah, what
demo
happened?
time
Like,
nailed us. Oh
no,
my
But yeah,
goodness.
recently we use Supabase database in the background, and recently Supabase has been facing some downtime. Maybe it's due to the AWS thing that's going on right
It
now.
could have been, yeah, it could have been. Let me see if I can get mine to fire up. But I can show, we can also show you the uh, yeah, which branch am I on? Let's see, let's wait until this comes up. We can also show you the Discord bot. So based on that tension of not really knowing which proposals were out there and what we could vote on, or collecting any of our sort of straw poll opinions on the things, um, we created this platform for doing. And if you go onto the Discord and you go to this about DReps, this is one of the features of the proposal or the platform, is it sends a link to this channel and has a little has a link to this. May or may not, yeah. So we kind of something's going on with the front end, but this is, you can connect a wallet here and it allows you to sort of vote. You can see rationales, and I think maybe Harsha has done a rationale. But this is what it looks like.
wow,
Our
nice.
database is down for some reason. Yeah, I
Wow.
think it's the ongoing Supabase
Yeah.
AWS issue, I think. Yeah. It
But
should
they're,
it
yeah,
should be good
they're,
to go in sometime. Yeah, once it's
yeah,
again.
could be down. But you got links to all the different things here on the Gov tool. And there,
Yeah, so I
yeah.
think the main thing that we agreed today, we got to consensus that okay, we are ready to get this thing
Oh,
battle tested. So
yeah.
like if you're interested in, putting out an opinion for the current governance actions, you can try this platform and have your vote. You can go to the how it works page to see how to navigate through the platform. So there's a small prerequisite for you to participate in the voting, and it's to go through the getting started with Gimbalabs course on Andamio. So it's a little small thing. It just asks if you have participated in one of these spaces. So if you have done that, you now have the ability to share your opinion for this governance actions, and you can convey it through this platform. Once it's done, governance actions usually on Cardano takes 4 epochs or 5 epochs, I forgot. But we have reserved the last epoch for actual on-chain voting, so Gimbalabs will have the maximum epochs for the GOP action minus 1 epoch. So you guys can go ahead and share your thoughts on that, share your rationales, vote on it, and the aggregate result will be the actual on-chain vote that goes for the Gimbalabs TRAP. And we are ready to test this. So please go ahead, go to drap.gimbalabs.com, try out. If you have bugs, just reach out to us. We have the project channel in the Discord. If you want to fix the bug yourself, the code is open source. And if you are fixing it yourself, we have some ADA allocations from the proposal. So we're happy to pass it through.
Yeah.
So all of the things are in place. Let's, start voicing things for the Gimbalabs DRAP.
Perfect. All right. Lucas wants to know if we've been using Git Honey. No, I don't think so. What's Git Honey?
It's a TX Pipes Git plugin that allows you to reward bounties in Ada.
What? Okay, we'll definitely underline that.
So just fun to share the update in two directions. Drep.gimbalabs.com is an example of a mini app built on top of Andamio. And since you guys started that work, that's something that we'll also be demonstrating at a live workshop in Berlin. But another direction for that expansion is to what we call other validation states or local protocols on Andamio. TX Pipe is auditing the Andamio code right now. And one of the things we're looking forward to doing is making sure that Git Honey can be used as an Andamio local state. So more to come there. We're probably going to need like Andamio Playground or live coding to help people understand the details of what I just said there. But this is all coming down the pike.
But important to remind folks about this headless app built on these other systems. And I feel like that's sort of a thing that we're building now. It's sort of a modern way with the API and the databases and all the whatnots. And yes, that sounds pretty exciting. Hey, let's go through the other proposals. How does that sound? Because
Yeah,
does anybody here? So these are all, you can see my screen. These are all the, oh, well, I meant to ask Hinson, but I feel like the Aiken PBL, we can move from in progress to done, or, I mean, I guess it's still going.
I mean, it's an ongoing course, but it's signed, sealed, delivered. And in fact, the Lido Nation crew is going to be using it as like a prerequisite for devs to come to their in-person summit in February. So yeah, that content is out there.
That's cool.
It's going to need to be updated. That's a future proposal. But yeah, up, running and being used.
So does it live in I think it lives in progress. Alex isn't here for these. The Marlowe with Sebastian. Any updates there? Briefly? Because I know that Lucas is here and he may have some.
I can share on that one too. Oh, go ahead, Seth.
No, you can go. Yeah, you can go on there. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we've been in touch with the Marlowe team. We're waiting on the same dependencies that Lucas mentioned earlier. But there's a certain amount there that can be done, and it is an outstanding Gimbalabs Catalyst proposal, right? So in one way or another, it's going to block us from future Catalyst proposals. It needs to be completed somehow. We're going to focus on that after the Cardano summit, if there's a little bit of time to start working through that, at which time I'm hoping that Tomas and Simon are able to share with us the status. And, when we talk about whether we should shift direction entirely, they tell us, no, like there's enough here and it's going to be developed. But we're still a little bit in a holding pattern there. But stay tuned.
Perfect.
That's definitely something we want to deliver together.
Yeah. Now, the Mesh and Gimbalabs, we just talked about that today.
Sorry, Newman, can I jump in?
Sebastian. Yeah, go ahead.
Lucas. So I just wanted to echo,
Lucas.
maybe I mentioned it on the beginning of the call. Thomas is saying that probably they'll get runtime up and running and runner and runtime by the end of this week, because I've been asking him, because my learners, I've been just doing the basics on Playground, but they want to see it running on chain. And so, yeah, I wanted to come by as well to align with you guys, because as you know, the Marlowe team is quite small at the moment, and I didn't want us both to be asking them for the same things. So I wanted us to be in the same room before we approached them. So I basically came and joined your room. Okay.
Amazing.
So if you could keep me in the loop about that, I will try to then bother them less,
And
also,
yeah, same. If you hear any news, keep us posted. and we can work on
Okay.
it.
Should I just DM you directly, or do you have a channel on this project?
To start with DM, once we have a reason to open
Okay.
up a conversation, we'll keep it going.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, a little bit of collab right there. Okay. And so we just talked about this mesh one. The dandelion, we talked to Martin. Martin gave a pretty big update. I believe it was last week's session. Yeah, the 23rd he updated, so that's cool. They're still going strong. Africa Developers Education Initiative 2025. Is anybody, Jethro and Gideon, do you want to come on and give us a?
Isn't that done? Isn't like
I think
it's
it's done.
Because I remember Jethro giving the same speech last week.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So you guys want to switch it over to done?
Yeah, I think it's done. We've had the hackathon phase, they've had the presentation of the project, and then we've awarded the winners the reward. So I think yeah, it's pretty much done.
Excellent. All right, we're gonna do it. Here it is. Thank you. All right. And let's see. Now, we just heard from the DREP community platform. Hey, everybody, start using it. Notion accounts for Gimbalabs contributors. If you are actively working with things, you can get a Notion account, and that's what this project is for. And let's keep going this way. The next one is this season 6 hosting of open spaces. That's what we're in right now. And these seem to be going along pretty good. This is where this needs. I'm trying to figure out where to do the documenting, and right now I've got this page open with this tractor, and I've got like all of the past things here. But you can go back and look at the agendas. You can look at the video links and all the tweets. We do a tweet with this little parrot, so you can see all the tweets. Harsh and I love doing this. We talk, at least every other day. We brainstorm, we put things together. If you have agenda items, you can contact us directly. We look through the Discord, et cetera, et cetera. And then this one, the last in our is Andamio attendance at Buenos Aires Summit, and that was Sebastian. And Sebastian, you feeling pretty good about that one? Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, it's in progress. It's in progress. I think I'm doing the prep for the event, and the event will be next week, the Saturday after the Cardano Summit at Berlin. We will have because these people wants to know more about Andamio. We will have a really good space in terms of time and the opportunity to talk to the usual suspects, the developers in the region, but also new people from other organizations. And that will be a really good experience. And in terms of the proposal, this will bring really good lessons about how your project as a profit project can be managed and be involved in this kind of efforts and get some kind of initial traction that you can replicate later in other live events. But for the moment, all good. I think we are in the process.
Excellent. All right.
Yeah.
So that feels like all of the projects that are listed here. And we still there's 9 minutes left in the 90 minutes that we've allotted. Do we want are there any projects that you are working on that are not here that you want to, as just as a personal check-in? You know, we've gone through the whole meeting. There's something that you want to say further. Harsha, does that feel right?
Sure, yeah.
Can I show you a bit of what we've been doing with the Web3 onboarding workshops?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, could you just allow me to share my screen for a minute? Thanks.
Yeah. Harsha, can we do that?
Yeah,
He's
you
the
should
super
be able to
user.
share your screen, Lucas. Are you not able to
Oh,
share?
okay, I'll try again. Yes, I am now. See if it works. Sorry for the, it's probably gonna feedback. You can see it, right?
Yeah, we got your screen.
Yeah, so this website, tell me if you can recognize, if you can imagine where I copied it from, right?
Yeah.
So it's the Cardano.org. We just used the template, and so we've organized 2 events: the Cardano Constitutional Workshop in Lisbon, and then the summit last year in Lisbon, which was great. And the main project that we've been running, or it's been parked for a while, but now we've been running the first cohort, is this workshops of Web3 for business people, let's say, for project owners or entrepreneurs. The fun part of the milestone 1 was that we basically spent a lot of time organizing these things. Like this event was sort of included there, where we invited a lot of people, builders from the Cardano community in Lisbon, and lawyers, university teachers. We created our own sort of merch store, which I like to call Cardano Wear. And these are all pilots. And then right after that, we went to the Web Summit, which is a huge event in Lisbon. We paid for a small booth, you can see it there, and we spent days talking to people, exhibiting our small collectibles as well. And I hired, or I recruited, Rafael from GenWealth, and this is Anselmo, who does our video editing and capture. There's Anselmo as well. And then what else? We also went to that to a digital art event in Lisbon, did the same kind of thing, like talking to people and talking about Cardano. I was wearing this huge Nirvana adapted to Cardano t-shirt, just like to leave no questions, like the logo there and all. So yeah, this has been a lot of fun going to these events. There's also a clip about going to that Nomads event, but I don't have it here. And yeah, just to give you a glimpse of you'll probably find Myro familiar. This was the original Cardano for Non-Techs thing that I started 2022. And now we're actually using the same board. And we've gone through, I started this section there. I started looking at it now, and it looks like a crane, which sort of relates with Gimbalabs. But yeah, so basically we started this from session 1. Let's install a wallet, let's go to the faucet and play around a bit. So there's the practical part and the theoretical side. There's other orientations. But then outside of this pipeline of to-do notes for each session, we've created this background knowledge where we start with the very basics, like money plus, this is all in Portuguese, by the way. The first cohort is all in Portuguese, but now we're taking signups, and that's why basically I wanted to showcase this. Yeah, we're taking signups for the cohort 2 in English and cohort 3 in Portuguese as well. So yeah, this is basically the focus that we bring to their attention. There's a lot of updates happening every day, like even yesterday. Now Circle has a blockchain of their own, and they're taking over HSBC and a number of other entities. There's a section there with concepts, which is quite significant. A bit of governance there, and yeah, we don't dive in too much. For example, there's a bit of architecture here just to show them what your browser does, what your backend does, and what the blockchain and smart contracts actually do. Data provider in the middle, just to give them a notion of the building moving parts. There's a lot of well, there should be more Marlowe, but we actually it was really useful for this beginning part. Just player A, puts in a bit, this other person puts in something to the contract, and the contract returns it, and then we break it down very visually. And yeah, so now we're getting to a point where I'm challenging each participant to have this type of dimension of legal, technical, and commercial to say, okay, how could your business idea in Web3 work? Not just from the technical side, otherwise you just create a betting game and then it's illegal. But how would your business model be as well? So this actually aligns. You remember Cardano Builders? What was his name? Sieber and Ricardo Corsino, Victor Corsino. I used to do
yeah,
SWOT
yeah.
analysis. Yeah. It's curious. I don't remember the first name. I know it's Sieber from Mediators. Remember Mediators.ai?
Oh, yes.
So
Is Nori still around? What's
That's
that guy's name?
Matthias.
Matthias, yeah.
Matthias Sieber.
Matthias. Yeah, it's not a common
He
name in
was
Portugal. So.
working for Emergo, and he's now quit the entire blockchain space and is now in the U.S. Army, and it's a completely different career for him. It's pretty interesting watching
What?
his career.
Cool.
thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I miss that kind of community as well. They were a bit more focused on the business side and all
we
that.
have
Anyway.
Yeah, we have evolved a bit. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks so much, Lucas. That
Thank
was
you.
great to get the updates.
Curious
And
about
I'm really,
feedback.
could you share that link?
Yes, I'm dropping it on the chat. It's just 45B/Web3.
Okay. Is there a link to that Miro is in there?
Sorry, web3.io. I'll fix it.
Make sure
And
it's
I'll
in
drop
there.
it again. Yes.
And so we don't have like a full checkout round, but we do like to have just, hey, this is the time where we're saying goodbye. The YouTube video is going to close in a little bit. Harsha's at the button. And if you are watching on YouTube and you're like, hey, man, I want to come in there and mix it up with those guys, come down here at Thursdays, 14:30 UTC. Look for the links in the Discord. If you feel like it, hit the little heart button or share it with a friend or subscribe to the channel. We don't really watch those things, but it is kind of nice. It's something that you can do that shows your support. Thanks everybody. This was another great session. I think we got a lot of stuff done today. Anybody else want to